And start. So we just got dive bombed by Paul from Continue. When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed on top of my blouse. I was like, is she bleeding? Because that'd be warm and wet. She better not be bleeding. Hana, are you okay? I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. What happened? You ran into someone, you idiot. My uniform. It's ruined. For a few seconds silence, and snickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed up, water stinging in my eyes. No, not this. Not again. I stood up, prepared to walk away with dignity, when the entirety of the Normal Boots Club suddenly appeared in front of my face. What happened here? Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them. Hana, are you alright? I'm going home. Wait, Hana. It's fine. I just want to be alone for now. It took all of my will not to run back to the dorm. Do you like my crying voice? I've worked very hard. Actually, I cry a lot, like ridiculously a lot, so it's my best impersonation. My brother does not like my crying voice. I immediately changed into my pajamas and climbed into bed, reaching for my stuffed rabbit. What am I gonna do if this ends up just like the last time? Mr. Bunny stared at me with his big, lifeless eyes. I squished him to my chest, losing myself in his soft fur. The door opened with a soft click. Hana, are you okay? I rolled over in bed to face the wall, pretending to be asleep. Mai stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. Finally, she sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I don't know how many hours passed, but eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling only dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step out of my room. I curled up inside my blankets as my alarm went off. It was only the second day of school, and I felt the same as I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up, and I could hear her hair straightener clap a shot every few seconds from across the room. Clap is a good word for that. I felt bad about letting the alarm go off for so long, so I slid my hand out of the covers to switch it off. Hana? Hana, get up, sleepyhead. I know you're awake. I didn't even have time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed into the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. I probably should have read that differently, like her lines. She jumped from almost halfway across the room. Ha! You can't hide from Mai! Sorry. I was breathless, and I put to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot about it myself. She must have seen my face. She brought an arm around my shoulders and pulled me closer to her. For real, though, we're gonna go to class, and no one's even gonna mention that you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. You could have put that better. I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul, alright? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory, like I just did just now. He could learn a lot from a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I could bottle your gloom and sell it to a wizard. And what if he used it for evil? You can't let that happen, Hana. You can't let that happen, Hana. Her smile was wide enough to bridge a gap between continents. The beginnings of tears pricked between the back of my eyes, but this time they were for a different reason. I opened my closet and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing inside, slathered with dried-up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. If I wasn't able to get the stain out of this uniform, what would I do? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on as Mai waited, I think I was supposed to say, impatiently for me. Ready to go? I guess so. Good. Just as Mai said, nobody paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks here and there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out on the field playing soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look. Hana. At the sound of my name, I leapt to attention. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not to contemplate the scenery. Yes, Miss Shizuka, I'm sorry. She turned back to the chalkboard and continued her lecture as if nothing happened. A few desks in front of me, a guy sitting next to Brutal Moose turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up. Whoa, no, oh, okay, I saved. I made a face at him, unsure of what exactly he expected me to do. Honestly, I was trying to use my other hand because my first hand is cold. I just ate lunch, so I got my blood sugar back up. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the head. The other guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief instant. Then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone is almost free to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, as you may be aware, the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half. The news was met with a few cheers as everyone started to pack up. Woo! Flower Festival! Yeah, I like people in general. Since you have the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before. There were no cheers this time. Romance is wonderful, believe me, I know. But try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That is all. See you tomorrow. Miss Shizuka flashed a peace sign and winked as she walked out the door. What a weird teacher. Ugh, that lecture was so boring. Maya walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat. Oh, this is exciting, guys. Maybe I'll drag a little bit of this out so that we can start next time with the exciting bit. So it'll be nice and conclusive, but you never know what'll happen. Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for today too. Hana, help me. Whoa. I love that. Hana, help me. I'm gonna die of boredom. We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai. We already have work to do? How did you not hear that? Ugh. Maya sighed dramatically and then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I reached up to pat her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it. Paul's walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry at you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's going to kick you again? And that's where I'll leave it, because the last one was long, so... Pause.